alarms, no clear warnings, just a sudden shift in the world you thought you understood. The first 24 hours of World War III do not begin with explosions everywhere. They begin with confusion, with silence, with incomplete information. Most people imagine chaos instantly. That is not how it starts. It starts with uncertainty, conflicting reports, half-working systems, government speaking carefully, news anchors choosing their words slowly, and in that gap, panic quietly grows. This is the most dangerous phase, not because of bombs, but because people do not yet understand what is happening. Markets freeze, communication networks become unstable, transportation slows down, people rush for answers that do not exist yet. And those who act emotionally in these early hours often make decisions they cannot reverse. The world does not collapse all at once. It fractures. Small systems fail first. Payments, signals, supply chains. Each failure seems minor on its own, but together they create pressure, and pressure changes behavior. People rush. People hoard. People move without plans. That is when risk increases. The first mistake most people make is assuming they have time. They think they will wait for confirmation. They believe clarity will arrive. It rarely does. In global crises, information always lags behind reality. By the time certainty appears, options have already narrowed. This is why the first 24 hours matter more than anything that comes after. Not because everything ends, but because habits form. Decisions lock in. Paths are chosen. Once you move down the wrong path, changing course becomes harder with every hour. Another mistake is watching too much. Constantly refreshing news, jumping between sources, absorbing fear without filtering it. Information overload weakens judgment. The competitor-style truth is simple. Awareness matters. Obsession does not. Calm observation beats constant reaction. In these first hours, the world feels familiar but unstable. Shops still stand. Streets still exist. But the rules that governed yesterday no longer apply. Systems you trusted quietly step back. Responsibility shifts to the individual. This is not the moment to act heroically. It is the moment to act intelligently, to slow down while others rush, to think while others panic, to understand that survival in large-scale crises favors those who delay irreversible decisions. The first 24 hours are not about strength. They are about restraint, and most people fail right here. When fear appears, logic weakens. This is not opinion, it is pattern. In every major global crisis, human behavior follows the same curve. Initial denial, sudden panic, poor coordination. Only later comes adaptation. During the early phase of a world-scale conflict, people search for certainty. They want someone to tell them exactly what to do. When that guidance is unclear, they imitate others. This creates dangerous feedback loops. One person moves, 10 follow. 10 move, hundreds copy. Soon, entire crowds act without understanding why. The competitor-level insight is this: danger does not come only from the event itself. It comes from mass reaction. Traffic jams are not accidents. They are decisions made simultaneously by unprepared minds. Shortages are not always real. They are accelerated by panic buying. Violence often starts not from necessity, but from fear of future scarcity. Another critical failure is overconfidence. People believe previous routines will protect them. They assume normal rules apply. They think this won't reach here, or authorities will handle it. That assumption removes personal responsibility at exactly the wrong moment. Then there is misinformation. In the first 24 hours, False certainty spreads faster than truth. Screens show maps, arrows, predictions. Most of it is incomplete. Some of it is wrong. Acting on partial data creates irreversible outcomes. Those who move based on rumors usually regret it. A quieter mistake is emotional decision-making. People prioritize comfort over strategy, familiar places over safer options, immediate relief over long-term stability. In normal life, this works. In crisis, it does not. Competitor-style analysis always highlights one core idea. Survival is not about doing more. It is about doing less, but doing it correctly. Each unnecessary action increases exposure. Each rushed decision reduces flexibility. The smartest individuals in the first 24 hours are not the loudest or the fastest. They are the ones who preserve optionality, who avoid commitments they cannot undo, who understand that movement itself is risk. This is why many people unintentionally place themselves in worse positions than where they started, not because they lacked resources, but because they lacked discipline. The crisis does not punish ignorance first. It punishes impatience. The first decision is not where to go. It is whether to move at all. Movement attracts attention, creates exposure, and limits choices. Staying put, when conditions allow, preserves information and control. The second decision is how to manage information. One reliable source is stronger than 10 emotional ones. Filtering matters more than volume. Knowing less, but knowing it accurately, protects judgment. The third decision is resource discipline. Early overuse creates later desperation. Conservation in the beginning extends stability later. The competitor truth is simple. People rarely run out of resources. They run out of restraint. The fourth decision is visibility. Attention is risk. Standing out draws unpredictable responses from others. Blending into normalcy when possible reduces threat. Calm behavior signals control and discourages confrontation. The fifth decision is communication. Every message you send reveals position, intent, and condition. Silence, when appropriate, preserves safety. Speaking only when necessary maintains leverage. The sixth decision is mental control. Fatigue and fear erode decision quality faster than physical danger. Rest, pacing, and emotional regulation are survival tools, not luxuries. The seventh decision is patience. Most irreversible damage occurs when people rush to solve uncertainty. Time clarifies situations. Waiting filters options. Those who delay major moves often gain advantage without effort. These decisions do not require strength. They require discipline. And discipline is rare under pressure. By the end of the first 24 hours, the world feels different, even if it looks the same. The initial shock settles into tension. Systems partially adapt. People begin to accept instability as the new normal. Those who made early mistakes now feel trapped. Options narrow. Regret appears. Those who acted conservatively feel less dramatic, but more secure. This is when the long phase begins. Not collapse, but strain. Not chaos, but unpredictability. And those who preserved flexibility now control their pace. Competitor analysis always shows this contrast clearly. The calm are not luckier. They are simply less exposed. The first day is not about winning. It is about not losing. World War III, if it ever fully unfolds, will not be survived through bold action alone. It will be navigated through intelligent delay, controlled behavior, and emotional discipline. The first 24 hours are a filter. They remove the impulsive, they punish the reactive, they reward the patient. Most people are not ready. not because they lack supplies, but because they lack mental frameworks. They were trained for normal life, not abnormal decisions. Understanding this changes everything, and that understanding is what separates survival from regret.